Okay, hi everyone. I hope you guys can all hear me. Please let me know if you can't, but I'm gonna continue on. I don't think I've got many people viewing at the start, but I'm gonna continue on anyway. Hopefully the more of you guys come online for the questions at the end. So obviously the market has been pretty bad the last few weeks, but we expected this. We expected it to be bad. From January, we knew things weren't going to go well. We did expect there to be some relief at some point, but the markets have turned on the last Fed meeting, basically, which is good for us because it makes everything speed up a little bit, and we might even get lower prices than what was expected. So this is all good. Means we can buy back in cheaper, which is great considering we sold a few months ago. So let's just start with some of the on-chain stuff. So what we're seeing is I'm gobsmacked this is still being accumulated into. I really am. I think in the next few days, if prices start to stabilize slightly, I'd like to think you're going to see, it turn green again. Because you want to see some like capitulation sales, sort of like this. We want to see this again. Even something like that, like this, would actually be okay, to be honest. But just continued accumulation is really annoying. It shows that people haven't gone through enough pain yet for it to be a capitulation style event. But let's move on to some other metrics. Let's look at the addresses. More than likely, the small guys will still be accumulating. This is the first time I've looked at this today. So yeah, let's go for it. So small guys, Bitcoin wallets greater than 0.01 Bitcoin. The number of wallets is still increasing, showing people are still adding. It started to tail off slightly the last day or so, but there's still that accumulation. Adjusted balance greater than 0.1, still increasing, again tailing off slightly. Adjusted balance greater than 1, tailing off. We saw some sort of exhaustion in here, and it's now starting to tailor off. Adjusted balance greater than 10 Bitcoin. So this has come down considerably, especially when we were at sort of the 38k zone, 37k. There was a considerable sell-off. We went from 147,500 down to 146,800. So it's a reasonable move, especially in this metric. We know our main metric is this one: adjusted balance greater than 1,000 Bitcoin. Adjusted balance greater than 100. Okay, they've got this rather wrong. They bought into the 37, 38, 39 and are now probably trying to reduce the number of wallets. Not by a great number though, that's to be noted. Coming down. That's interesting. I would say this cohort has actually got this wrong. Adjusted balance greater than 1k Bitcoin. Aha, here we go. Okay, so they've sold off a 1% sell-off. Probably slightly more. Probably a 3% sell-off. And they sold off at 38k. They began selling at 38k. They're pretty much done by 36,500. We're now at 31,400. So this wallet cohort got it pretty spot on, which is good. What we want to see is we've seen these smaller wallets continue to be accumulating. So with this continued accumulation, we want to see that they're going to end up getting spanked, basically. And we want to see that because they've been accumulating, we want them to end up prices going so low that they say, Jesus Christ, I made a big cock up here. I'm selling, I'm out, I've made a big mistake, and you'll see them all start selling. So now we know so I'm going to look into the lifespan metrics. So I'm trying to give you some context for that. So we want to see that these small wallets, the short-term coins, they haven't really had huge waves of selling, but we've seen just on price, for instance, if we go to price here, we've seen on points like here and here, a lot of the big wallets, the older coins have been selling into these rallies, where the younger coins, they haven't really been, they haven't really shown any significant sell pressures. The wallet sizes have mostly been growing, which means they've been accumulating on the down moves, where the big boys have been selling these rallies. So the big boys are usually the guys that have coins that are 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, that are more dormant and they're willing to have bought them years ago and hold them for a long period of time. We've seen those guys already do their selling. We want the capitulation to be catalyzed by the short term, the young coins, i.e. someone that bought a week ago, a month ago, even a day ago, and now they're basically selling or dumping their coins. So we want to see a spike in those metrics. Let's see what we get. I could be completely wrong, and you guys will all just think I'm a complete pillock, but I'm hoping I'm going to be right. So spent outputs, let's start with 1 out of 24 and go on average of 7 days. So here we haven't really seen it spike up, so I could be wrong. This could be a bit embarrassing. We need to see some spike ups for me to be right. Oh, nice. Okay. So 1 day so this is coins older than 1 day. So as in, say me as the investor, I bought the coin longer than a day ago, but not longer than a week ago. So I bought it at some point either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. So that's pretty short term. And we see a big spike in this metric showing they're probably the cause of the big moves down. Because we have, let's be honest with ourselves. If we go to the daily, we've had sort of 2 days when we've gone down from 35 down to 31. So you're looking at a good 10% healthy correction. Where if you look at 5 days time frame, we've gone from 40 down to 31. You've done a 25% correction. So we're starting to get oversold areas, but I'll come back onto that. So let's now look at the next cohort. So the next youngest cohort would be spent outputs older than 1 week, but younger than 1 month. Okay, so nothing huge, but I wouldn't say I was wrong. I would say I'm not exactly that right. Either spent outputs greater than 1 month, but younger than 3 months. So everything still here is still pretty short term. 1 month to 3 months. Okay, nice. So it's not like this, but this is still good. It means there's been selling into these, which is nice. 3 months to 6 months. Let's have some more. Perfect. Here we go. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see. I thought this was going to come in like, I've just seen AFN, your message. Hi as well. Hello. Sorry, back to what I was saying. I thought this was going to happen at some point. I've been saying in the last week or two, there's going to be some point in the next 1 to 12 weeks. I thought we were towards the second end of that spectrum. I thought it'd be sort of 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks time, but it's looking like we're beginning to see the makeup of it. Maybe now, maybe we'll find some support at like a 30k, something like that, and have a short relief bounce or something, and then cut back down and just do the final capitulation. That would be pretty cool. I'll explain that. I'll explain. Let's just do this. Spent output 6 months to 12 months. Another spike there, which is nice. And I bet you we start seeing these guys they've already done their selling months ago. So again, a small amount, but nothing really. See, look in here, they were doing the selling at the sort of 42, 43, 44k. Spent outputs 2 to 3 years. Similar story again there. 3 to 5 year. Similar. 5 to 7 year. They've done it all the way back here. They were the smartest guys. Spent outputs 7 to 10 year. Not much. Pretty much in there. They weren't that smart. They were selling at 16k. Spent outputs greater than 10 years. Okay, so they sold at a bad point here. But you've seen the guys that are investment guys, 1 to 2 year, they've already done their selling. So we can see mostly the short-term guys are the ones that are responsible for these move downs. And that's good. That leads us to potentially some form of capitulation type, which is good. What we want. So I'm tonight going to start placing some orders in here. However, please listen with this. I'm going to do about 40% to 50% of my capital, and I'm going to box this range down from 27,000 to 23,600. I'm going to do 50% of my capital. Probably going to do slightly. I'm going to layer it. I really am going to layer it. So I'm going to have heavy orders towards the 24, 25, 26. I mean, we're not far away. We're only a 15, 20% move now, so it's worth just placing the orders. But I am going to place orders all the way down to like 20k. With the other 50% of my capital, layer some more orders. They'll probably be like staggered down. So rather than be, bigger orders towards the bottom, they'll all be pretty relatively the same size. But this one here will be staggered down. So smallest order, medium size order, big order. And that'll be for 50% of my capital. The other 50% will go from 23 something down to 18. Is the stream okay? I think the stream might have paused. Please let me know if everything is okay. I see my stream's current bitrate is not brilliant. Please just let me know if everything is okay. I've seen the views has gone down, so I feel like it might paused. This is really annoying. Can you guys hear me okay? This is really annoying. Guys, anything in the chat would be great. If you can just let me know. You can hear. Okay. I've seen the views drop considerably, so I assume a lot of people have dropped out. Okay, I'm just going to continue. So yeah, 50% of the capital will be in here. The other 50% will be down to 18,000. Yeah, my feelings are, this is looking at it on the daily. I don't know if I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to continue. Please let me know if you can't. We'll come to the questions. If you've all dropped off by the time we get to the Q&A, then I'll know. But if not, you can't hear me, I'll do this on a screencastify as well. But anyway, let's stay with it. So for now, we're beginning to approach. Okay, cool. Thank you, Oscar. So we're seeing that I've seen the views have picked up again. So I'm going to explain what I was just basically waffling that the bitrate was bad, but I think everything's okay for now. So basically, it's going to be 50% of the orders in here. 50% of the orders between sort of an 18k all the way up to the bottom. So I could almost just draw another box just to not be confusing. I'm going to draw it off to the side. So something down to like this. Although I don't like that green because it's not one of my green boxes. So let's go to a white and a clear. Oh, that's not a clear. There we go. So the other 50% of my orders are going to be in here. So with this being said, we've got these the short-term holders are now starting to sell. So there is some capitulation there, which is good. It's what we want to see. I do expect, and this is what I was saying when I was explaining some of this on-chain stuff, is I don't think we're going to fill this straight away. I think we might come down and touch a 30, a 29, 6, 681. I think we could even bounce from here. But we could have a relief rally up to like a 34, 35. And I think there's a CME gap here. So I think that might be worth closing before we do the final leg down. That's just something to take note of. But I think we're destined for this level. And you guys know I've been here since January telling you this. I have literally been here since January saying that we're expecting this. A lot of you guys are sending me your sort of TA charts. I think we're destined for this level, to be honest. So overall, this is good. I'm going to stick to a few of the large caps, and then we're going to move on to questions because I'm concerned about the stream. Again, ETH here, we're due some kind of bounce. I'm looking at the overall level to be 1,700 down to about 1,100. So again, layer some orders, work it out, pull out a spreadsheet, work out how many. Work out how much you want to invest in each coin. So you might say, for me personally, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm concentrating on Bitcoin, ETH, a very small amount of FTT, and a very small amount of Solana. That's what I'm concentrated on. I'll probably be something like 7.5% FTT, 7.5% Solana. I might even be a 5 and a 10, weighted 10% towards Solana. I'm then going to be something like, so that will make up about 15%. I'm then going to be mostly something like a 25, 30% in ETH, and then a 50 to 60% Bitcoin. So, don't go with these low caps here. They're still going to bleed. They're still going to drain. It's not what you want to see. Stick with the big guns. That's what I'd really say. So let's look at FTT and we'll look at Sol. So FTT here, I think 22 is going to be the level. I really hope it is. It would be basically not cutting it in half, but losing another 33% from here would be quite nice. And I think it depends where we go to on Bitcoin. I'm going to buy the levels that Bitcoin tells us. So when Bitcoin gets there, that's when I'll load up on the rest, because the rest will bounce with Bitcoin. Other than the sort of crappy mid and low cap alts, all they'll do is they'll bleed out and drain out as Bitcoin starts to form some kind of support and some sort of like safety level. You'll see them just still continue to bleed out. So stick with the big guns. And I really would encourage that as well. Solana, this is a goner now. You're sort of looking to, first level you're looking at is $50. I don't think you could come anywhere down here to like even a 25, and a 25 would be great. It really would. And like I was buying this at $2, so the fact I'm like over the moon to be able to get back in this at maybe a 25 would be phenomenal. But you're talking about a 66% gain drop, which means an FTT could probably, if that did the same, it would probably come back to about 12. So it's very up and down. Don't try and trade through this. Now is the time to where the real money is made, because you're here waiting to buy the bottom. This is the best time to be here. If I could say to you, pick a bull period or a bear period, I would always say the bear period, because that's when you're going to go and get your entries. Might go and get your entries in the bull market, but you're paying everyone else's bags. Now is the best time to be here. It really is. So in terms of the actual stream, that's going to be it. I'll cover some more on-chain metrics tomorrow, see what comes out, because it'll be cool to see why this blood has happened today. If we look at the S&P, it's broken the lows now, so this could bounce from here, but overall it's going to be a goner. And I think you're looking at, I did say 3.8 as a target. I think it's probably going to be lower than this. I think we're probably going to head to like 3.7. We might even head into here at 3.5, 3.6. I think 3.6 would be a good place to bounce from. The Nasdaq has a high correlation with Bitcoin. Again, pretty much a goner. I've said 10,000 all along, somewhere in here. So let's see how we go. But I'm hoping the stream has worked. Please, can you ask me any questions in the chat, and I'll answer them for you live. If not, I will do a post in the Discord, because I know a lot of you guys have dropped off because of the quality of the stream. Again, I'm sorry about that. I'm moving house in a week's time, so hopefully by the end of that week I'll have Wi-Fi and won't have to use my hotspot. But hotspot has been very, very good for me. But any questions, please fire over in the chat. If okay, I've got one. Filling shorts after a leaf rally peak would be a good setup. Possibly. It depends what levels we get to. Let me show you. If Bitcoin can come up to like a 38 and test here, yeah, absolutely, it'd be a good level. Thoughts on the CPI? Did the CPI come out today? Jesus. Okay, it came out today. How have I missed that? No, I haven't missed that. No, I haven't. No, nothing has come out. We're waiting for Wednesday. You scared me then. I thought I'd missed it. But no, we're waiting for Wednesday. It's actually quite critical. If we're below this level, I'd say that's obviously very good. If we're above it, the market will react badly. It really will react badly. It depends what comes out on Wednesday. It really does. But yeah, I would say let's wait till Wednesday. Anything that's over exaggerated obviously is bad. Anything below these figures is good. But yeah, that's sort of it really. But they'll have to be aggressive if it's high. They really will. Back to the question of filling shorts after relief rally. So it depends what level we get to. If we only get to like 34, I would say it's probably not worth the risk. It's probably you know what, it probably actually is. A small position perhaps, but you'd be looking at like a 38 off some sort of a good inflation number, some relief in the next few weeks, and you could short something like that going into June and July. That would be quite nice. But yeah, we have to see by the levels. So Osama and Sari, what alts would you suggest other than ETH and Sol to buy in the final dip? None. FTT. You know, I've said those for a reason, because those are the ones I like, and I think those are ones will be here in. You know, you could buy those and forget that you own them for 18 months, and they would still be here and still be the leaders. So something like a Chainlink is very likely it will be, but there's no guarantees. AVAX, no guarantees. Luna, no guarantees. Curve, none. Phantom, Ape, you'd say there's a chance, but you know, what are the seed founders going to do with their tokens between now and then? How many are they going to dump? What price are you going to get it at? So I would say stick with the main ones. FTT is the best exchange, so it'll always be there for now, or at least for the next year or two. Maybe in 5-10 years things will be different, but you know, ETH might be different in 5-10 years. I highly doubt it, but so for me it's Bitcoin, ETH, FTT, and Sol. They're just Sol and ETH are the best blockchains by a mile. FTT is the best exchange, and just Bitcoin is the original, the king of the coins. So those to me are just the clear four. Okay, can you explain the borrowing thing with BNB? You could add AFN, yeah, you could add BNB in. I would say go very small, go like 2.5%, and you still want to be in 75% minimum, I'd say, Bitcoin and ETH. So if you want to do BNB, I'd say it's possible, but very small, maybe 2.5%. Can you guys just say if you can definitely still hear me? I'm getting more questions in, so I'm hoping it's all good. But please, can someone just let me know? Just give me a yes, you can hear me. That would be nice and cure my anxiety as tad. So I've got a question here, which is, can you explain the borrowing thing, which you talked about in last YouTube stream in detail? So I would like to be able to bring up a spreadsheet. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I think. So again, consider placing some orders after the stream is done, because we're actually not too far away now. So let me explain. I'm going to write it down on paper just so I can talk you guys through it. So say you have $1,000. Now, what you're looking at doing is, if you say, okay, I want to spend my $1,000 between 27. So you're going to allocate now you're going to allocate two $500 installments basically. So two $500. You're going to have $500 in this top box between 23,700 and 27. That, please let me know if you guys can still hear me. Between 27,300 and 23,700. You're going to layer the orders, or this is what I would do. I would layer the orders so that you've got small ones, medium ones, big ones. So 50% of the money, so that's $500 of your 1,000 will be placing orders to buy spot margin Bitcoin. The other 50% will be in here. Now you say to yourself, that's all my money. So if Bitcoin goes to 10,000, I'm going to be in a loss, but I can't get liquidated. Can you guys still hear me? This is really annoying. Okay, I'm going to just continue. So if there's any complaints after, I'll do a recorded video or something and post it in the group. But because I can see as soon as my streaming quality goes bad, the viewing drops down and then it picks back up again. It's really annoying. But let's go back to it. So you can have, of your 1,000, $500 in here, $500 in this box. Layer the orders. So you'd have 100. That you might have 100 at 23,300. $100 at 22,000, $100 at 20,500, $100 at 19,300, $100 at 18,100. So get a spreadsheet out, work out differences. So say to yourself, 23,600, 18,000. So you've got 5,500. So you're going to have an order of $100 every 5,500 divided by 5. So you're going to have $100 of Bitcoin buy orders every $1,100 down from 23,600. And that will be all of your money. You can't get liquidated. Yes, you can 100% be in a loss, but you can't ever get liquidated. So you might be able to say, you know what, bugger it. I'm going to hold for the next 2 years and I'll be up. Because that's just what Bitcoin is. So you'll be up over a long period of time. So you might just hold. However, if you say to yourself, I'm going to borrow another $1,000. So that's a 2x leverage. And you feel, and your average price is 22,000. If Bitcoin now cuts in half because you've borrowed double the money, so your whole position now, half of it you own, half of it the exchange own. So if your position, which is an average price of 22,000, falls to 11,000, your half is now zero. The exchange owns all of your balance basically. So you're going to get liquidated at that point. That's why it's quite risky to do. I don't think we go to 11,000. I think we probably very much likely don't go to 18,000. But just in case there's some scary wick down, I would like to be able to catch it. But I think we probably go max 21, 22. But I want to have orders at 18 just in case. I can always buy higher, but I love being able to say I bought the bottom. So back to the leverage thing. If you then say to yourself, right, I'm going to borrow $4,000, or $5,000. You've just done a 5x on your money. So if your average price is now 22,000, with a 5x leverage, the price can only fall 20% and you'll get liquidated. Because the exchange owns 80% of your position, because for every dollar you have, you've borrowed another 4 from the exchange. So they will own 80% of your position. So if the position falls at 22,000, falls by 20%, you lose all your money and you pay back the exchange. That's why I would say do something where you borrow 20%. So if you've got 1,000, borrow $200, because then you need Bitcoin at 22,000. You need Bitcoin to fall by 80% for you to be liquidated. So 22,000, you'd have to go down to something like, what is that? $4,000 for you to be liquidated. I mean, come on. If Bitcoin goes to $4,000, we're pretty much done anyway. So I would say, borrows. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be borrowing 20%. So I feel like the interest rate on it is pretty good. I think it's pretty safe to do so. I don't think 30% is that safe. I just wouldn't want to do 30%. I'm really comfortable and can, knowing no matter what happens, I can borrow 20% and I'll still sleep easy. 30%, maybe not, I might not. So I'm not really interested. 20% is my number. I know some of you guys might think, I could push it, blah, blah. Don't. 20% or nothing. That's what I would say. I would definitely wouldn't say any more. Wouldn't say 2x, 100%, 200%. Just forget about it. But that's what I'd say, 20% or nothing. So I'm hoping that makes more sense. I feel like I should note it down in a spreadsheet. But there are lots of good YouTube tutorials on it as well. So just go on YouTube and Google it. But there's plenty of tutorials there. It seems like problems with YouTube, Google servers most likely. That would be cool. Knowing it wasn't me, that would be nice. Another question: do you believe that 18,000 is a realistic target? And if it doesn't hit your target, how you use the remaining cash? Okay, I think I did. I saw this question come in. I think I sort of answered it. Not meaning to answer it. But I think 18,000 is unlikely. I really do think it's highly unlikely. I think at worst we go 21, 22. I think we might not even do 24, to be honest. But I'd like to have some orders stacked in. If we start seeing it bounce, I'm happy to buy back in at 29, 28, knowing I've allocated 30, 40, 50, 60% of my money in this region here. So my average price would be like 27, 28. But if it does go down here, I want my average price to be 21, 22. So either way, I'm going to get a very good early entry. You're never going to get the exact bottom, but you can do well to get pretty close. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. And don't all I would say is in this spot, don't feel FOMO of missing out. Don't chase. Don't over leverage. Play it real safe, and you'll earn really good money out of this. And I mean, we're getting pretty close as well. So I think it's very possible that this happens. I don't think it's happening in the next day or two. I'm going to place the orders just in case. But I think we're very oversold, even on the daily. So if we look at the 12-hour, we're approaching the 20 marks. The last time we had that was in here. So I think you should get some relief here at some point. So yeah, I think it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. We get a bit of relief, some range bound. Short term people start saying, oh, the bottom's in. You see crypto Twitter going all crazy again, and then you just get that final capitulation wick down. But yeah, that's it. If you can hear me about the interest rate, I think they've been pretty clear. I think they've made a policy mistake. They shouldn't have ruled out 75 basis points, but they have. They're going for 250 basis points at the next 2 meetings. So again, it's pretty clear unless it's hard to envision them doing 75 basis points. But yeah, that's sort of where we're at. I'm hoping you guys were able to hear me throughout this, and could you give me some feedback in the Discord chat, just so I know, how much of this you guys got. I got a lot of questions through, and I saw them come through towards the end, so I assume a lot of you guys saw this. But could you please let me know? Feedback on it would be great. Any questions that might have gone missed or something, please let me know in Discord, and I'll answer them and get back to you, basically. But yeah, that's it. Cheers, everyone. Have a nice evening.